2 weeks ago, to be precise, we dealt with the one on the right hand side. This is where the business analyst, this is where they get all the information for the company which which wants to implement Oracle. Now, I told you 2 weeks ago, this could be a combination of two things, where the company has already done their own due diligence, so they already know what they want and they've already documented it. So when a consultant comes in, they start implementation straight away. Of course, it's going to take them time to review the document and they will start the implementation. Or it could be a business analyst going to the company and they review what they already have, which is called a legacy system, which is not an Oracle system, and they start putting it in documents. So this is the kind of document which needs to be done. So remember, we've reviewed this 2 weeks ago when we started the Oracle training. So I think basically I stopped at EIT. EIT is extra information type. So now I'm not going to bore you with this document. So if you have any question, please let me know. Like I said, this document is not a set of documents. It's just a business requirements document which tabularize every information which they want, saying, okay, you know what, in this field, this is what we want. In this column, this is what we want. So this is what this is all about. So, and so I'm not going to go too much into this. So if you've got time, I believe this has been sent to some of you, so please go through it and get yourself familiar with it. So there's quite a lot to get in, so if I keep on going, there's so much. So but we can just go straight into configuration today, so that we just kickstart, because I know we have very limited time. So that's for the one on the right. So now for you, remember this, when you get into a company, you want to do your implementation, they give you these documents, or maybe a business analyst give you this document saying this is exactly what we want you to configure. Now, once you review the documents, it doesn't matter where they start. I think this document actually started from, if I'm writing somewhere from here, I think, yeah, I think the document actually started, I would just say officially from here, which has got to do with functional and technical requirements. It doesn't matter where it starts, or it doesn't matter what the document says. The main important thing which you need to look at is, okay, how do I start? So for you to start on anything, so I'll just put this document, I'll just minimize this, and so I can just increase this. Now, this is the document which I prepared a long time ago, which will help you because it's just a kind of implementation steps. Because there's some people, they want to start implementation, they don't know where to start, they don't know step 1, step 2, step 3. They just, some of them just start from step 20. At times it doesn't work. So what needs to be done is, okay, what's my first step? What's my second step? Remember, it's just like you want to build a building. You don't start from the 3rd floor, you start from the foundation. So we just need to build the foundation before you start building on top of the foundation. So this is the kind of step which I created a long time ago, so which will help everybody. And this document, I will just say, if you notice, I put step 1. I said the first step which you need to do in that company, especially if they're not using Oracle, is what you start with key flex field. Key flex field has, I think, 5 to 6 structures. One of them is grade. So grade is important in a company. One of them is position. Position is very important in a company, but not every company uses the position, but you still need to build it to a certain level. Job is very important in the, for example, every employee needs to have a job. Competency, I think that is got to do with learning management, so that is very important. Cost allocation, so every organization needs to be costed, and also there's one called people group. That people group also that is got to, I mean, you can use people group for a lot of things. So that people group is mainly used for payroll or for any other HR stuffs, but that is very important. Okay, now, like I mentioned, there's one is called, which is called grade KFF, which is key flex field. So if I remember, I mentioned position, and the next one I mentioned job. So job is very important. Cost allocation, every organization or every department needs to be costed. There's people group, so this is where I said this could be used by payroll or it could be used by HR, and there's one as well which is called competence. So I'm not saying that those are the 5 which are important at the moment. There's more, but I think those are the 5 which are important. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to go straight into Oracle. So the first thing you need to do, well, there's something called sys administrator. This is, I mean, for you to start your implementation, sys administrator responsibility is very important. So at the moment I'm there. So what I'll just do, I'll just go to, let me just minimize this so that you know where I'm starting from. So this is what you have in sysadmin. So if I just, let me just minimize it so that you can see my navigation. So this is my navigation. Let me see if I can minimize this. I hope you can see the 2 screens, which display is very tight, but because I'm using a laptop, so it's going to be very, very minimal. So if you notice, I said, okay, for step 1, I want to create grade. What is the navigation? My navigation is sysadmin, so I'm in sysadmin already. It says application, so this is application. I will just click on open. It says validation, so validation, I will click on open. It says, well, the next one says key, so it's actually flex field, so which is key. So the next one says key, so I'm just going to say open, and the next one says segment, so I'm just going to open this. So once you're here, what you need to do, just make sure you click on flex field title. So once you click on flex field title, remember I said sample grade, so you can just copy this grade. So here it's blue, or it makes it any other color, but this is green. So you copy, just paste. Then you pick up Control F11. So Control F11 will automatically give you everything here. So remember, because we are working on this project which is called Antilis, so what I'm just going to do is I'm going to create a new one and say a new one. A new one will be, you click on this green. So I'm just going to pick up ants, just to make it easy, underscore grade. So if I click here, it automatically comes here. So once I do this, I go to segments. So I can click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and normally I always use 5. So here I can just pick up on, I'll just say ants underscore grade. Window prompts. So I think this is fine. We can just pick up grade. So column. So on this column, just click on the list of values. So say segment 1 is fine. Just click on segment 1. Here you don't need to put anything here for now. So just we can come back, and we because all the steps we're going to come back and add some values. So we can just leave this for now. So the next thing you need to do is go to open. Click on not required, so that you don't, I mean, required means it's mandatory, but I don't want to make it mandatory, so I've removed required. So just click there and just save. Save is this yellow button. So, and you can just say OK, and you click there, and yeah. So once you do this and you save it, 2 things which you need to do, which is important: you freeze it, and you allow dynamic insight, and you save again. So once you save, it's compiling. Now I've saved it. So every step which I just did, everything is actually in this. So I think I put some of them here, how to do it. So once you've done that, the next one which I'm going to do, remember on my the next step is position. So I can just click on here, just copy. So remember F11, make sure I'm here, paste, Control F11. So it automatically gives me this, a new one. So I can just pick ants underscore position. So it gives me this, so that's fine. So I go on segments. So number 5. and position, and I go to here. I can just pick up, just remove the and there. And what's the next column? So segment 1, that's fine. So go to open, remove required, save, which is that yellow, and that's fine. So once you've done that, remember what needs to be done. Freeze, say OK, and allow dynamic insights, and compile or just save anyway. It's the same thing. So this is saved as well. So remember, the next one is job. So I just copy this job. Remember, F11 on your laptop or maybe on your PC, and paste. Control F11, and remember, I'm doing a new one, so I can just pick up and underscore job. So it automatically populates here. So just pick on segment. So number 5 underscore job, and here I can just pick up job. So then, like I said, column here. Yeah, segment 1 is fine. So open, then required, just remove it and save. So like I said, everything I'm doing, remember, I'm picking up, this is it for a new one, and this is to save. Every information is actually here, so I think I put it on the no, not the glossary, I think on the content. I'm not sure if I didn't add it here. Okay, I didn't add it. Okay, I think I will need, because I've got one which I've done, so it gives you all the meaning of all this, what is up here, even for you to delete. Every meaning is here. So I mean, the one I'm going to send to you will be completely different from this, but it's the same thing anyway. The only thing is I didn't put all the meanings there, so I will do that later. So let me go back to, I think we've done job. So let me go back to job. Sorry. So let me go back to job. So yeah, so I've done job. So once I've done that, then I'll freeze, allow dynamic insert, then compile or save. It's the same thing. So compile, then OK. Okay, so the next one, so we've done 3 out of 5. So the next one is cost allocation. So I can just pick up on cost. So if I can just copy this, copy. And remember, when you get here, F11, you paste, Control F11. So you automatically give it this. So there's 2. So this is what you want. So you just do a new one. So ant underscore cost. Here I can just put cost allocation. So segment number 5 and underscore cost allocation. Okay. Then here as well. Segments, open, remove required, so it doesn't make it mandatory. Then save it. Then go to yeah, so you can go out. Then remember, freeze and allow dynamic insertion. Then save or compile. Okay, so that's done. So I think there's 2 more. Yeah, so there's people group. So I can just click on there. So copy. Go here again, F11, paste, Control F11. So I'm going to do a new one. So a new one, remember, is this green button here. So and people group. Now, just to let you know, because we're doing a test anyway, it doesn't really make too much a difference. Normally, it's always good because of the technical section. It's always, because this code is very important, so it's always good to make it like just like what is done with the other ones. So like people underscore group. So it's always good to make it capital letter instead of lower cases. Though because I'm doing a test, so I wasn't really worried about it. It's actually a capital letter. So here you can change it or just leave it that way. It doesn't make any difference. So here I'll just put 5 and put okay. So I'm just going to put segment 1. So go in and remove required and save. Okay, so once I go in, freeze and allow, then save. Okay, so the next one is position. So go in, oh, good. Okay, so just remove that. Segment 1, open, remove required, then save. Okay, so remove that. So we have 4 more to do. Save, compile, position. Okay, to the next one. Let's go for job. Segment 5. Okay, so open, remove, freeze, and allow, save. So F11, so I go to people, so do a new one. People, sorry, and people, that's fine, doesn't matter. So segment 5, and this is for people. Okay, so remove that. So segment okay, so save. Okay, I think I've done 4 now, so I haven't. I think I need 2 more, so which is cost. Yes, sir. So cost. Okay, one more and we should be fine. So allow, phrase, then save. Okay, so the next one is I think competence. So actually for competence, we can just use whatever is there, so that's fine, because not a lot of people use competence, so that's fine. So now, once you've done this, what needs to be done is to go to a responsibility. So what I can just do is to, you know what I would do? That's just a very quick one. I will just go to, let me create a new, sorry. Zero one 01. Okay, so let me give myself sysadmin, administrator, and UK super and save. Okay, but in the meantime, well, okay, no. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I will just log in as this guy, so we can only see 2 responsibilities, because I want it to be kind of new to you guys, so I don't want to use existing responsibilities. So I want it to look like, okay, this is a green field. Go to the steps. Now, if you look at the steps, so what I've done is the first step, we said we're going to create all the key flex field. Now the second step, which I put here, is to add the values. But at the moment, we don't need to add the values. We can do that one later. So I'm just going to move to the second step, which is got to do with create business group. So the first step, which we've done, is to create all the 5 or 6 KFLs, which we've done. We now said, okay, second step, create business group. So what I'm going to do, so look at this responsibility. I say UK Super User HRMS Manager. So if I go here, you'll see that responsibility here. Because when you get to a place of work, they will only give you 2 responsibilities. Just the one which we used before, and also maybe just a super user. It could be US super user, it could be UK super user, it could be any country super user. So that's what you will always get. So I just said the next thing is the responsibility, then work structure. This is work structure, organization, and description. Just click on open. So once you get here, so because this is a green field, there's completely nothing there. So what we need to do is just to say, yeah, we want to create a new business group. Just go on new. So because our business group is, we can just say ants underscore BG. Remember, I put here business group, but it could be BG, or I could just put business group. It doesn't make any difference. So ants business group. Now this will always be 1951. So what the date conversion we always use is January 1951. And at times some country they use 1950. So here you put business, but it depends on whatever it says. So we can just say business unit. It doesn't make any difference. Once you've done that, you save. So once you save, you come here and you just click on business. So it gives me a business group. Because it's a business group, you enable it and you save again. Okay, so once that's saved, you go to orders. So I think I've got every navigation here. I've got every navigation here. So what you need to do, if you notice, this page is the same thing with that. So what you need is just business group information. Just say OK. You click here. So once you do that, and remember, it doesn't matter what anywhere you go, this is what you're going to see everywhere. So even any country, this is what you will see. So it says short name. You can just use the same thing. So just ants underscore BG. So employee numbering generation. In some companies, they can have their own numbers, because if they are using a kind of existing system, some people might be used to, maybe, for example, if I'm in a company and I'm number one, so in the new system, I'll still want to be number one. So what that automatically means is they will manually do that. So here it gives us two options. I think it's two. Yeah, it says manual or automation, or use national identifier number. Normally, nobody uses identifier number. So it's either it's automated. That means if it's automated, that means Oracle will automatically allocate numbers to everybody. So it could be 001, it could be 002, or it could be 100, 101, 102. If it's manual, manual could mean, okay, in my old system, I am maybe number 1,000. In the new system, I still want to be number 1,000. So that means that's going to be manual. So that means this thing. Now, there could be two ways. It's either they actually load everybody, which is fine, but when they start creating new employees, that means it's going to be manual entry. The numbers will be manual. But if it is automated, that means when they create a new employee, the numbers will be automatically come from Oracle. You don't know where it's coming from, but it's automatically from Oracle. Normally, we always use automated, so I'll just click on automated. So the same thing with applicant. Applicant is if you're making a recruitment, so that's also going to be automated. Now, contingent is employee agencies. We're talking about agencies, so that's also going to be automated. Now, this is where what we created. So if I click on ants, so it should give me ant grade. Remember, we created all this. So if I click go on ants, it should give me ant people. If I do ants, it should give me ant job. If I go on ant as well, ant cost, the same thing with position. Now this one, we can just use whatever is there. So I didn't create anything on this one, so I can just use that. This is what I normally use. So legislation, because what I'm doing is, let's say for United Kingdom, this is a global company. They are based all over the world, but what you've been tasked to do is to do United Kingdom first. You can do US later, you can do any other country later. So the moment I pick up United Kingdom, you can see it's got a lot of legislation. The moment I pick up, because some of these pages are a little bit different, they're similar, but they're a little. So actually, let me remove United Kingdom. So there's many countries there. So there's even Angola, there's Algeria, there's every country all over the world. So the moment you pick up some countries, the legislation page will automatically come up for you. That means anything that is legislative. For example, if I pick up Belgium, you will see some, when you go to when you want to recruit, you will see a lot of legislation which is mainly for Belgium. If I pick up United Kingdom, you will see a lot of things which is only for United Kingdom. For example, if I pick up US, the NI, we say, instead of saying NI, which is national insurance, it says social security. So the same thing when you go to Saudi Arabia or some of the Middle East, the page that will come up will say for their NI or national insurance, I think it's going to say civil identity. So it comes out with whatever is legislative. So because we're doing United Kingdom, so I'll just pick up United Kingdom. So for now, so United Kingdom. Now currency, so you pick up GBP. Now fiscal year, normally it's always, well, we don't normally do this, that's why it's always white anyway. It says minimum age, we can just put 16, it's non-mandatory. Maximum age, we can put 78. Doesn't, like I said, this is not really mandatory anyway. Our fiscal year in United Kingdom is starting 5th of April or 6th of April to next year. So we can put it, but we don't always do it. So just leave it blank. So just click on save. I can just say OK or save. Okay, so something else that is very, very important, which I will just quickly do now, is to go to, because in UK we have what is called tax details reference. So this tax, oh God, what's this? It's not coming out with anything. Okay, so this tax details reference is this is where the company will, if I mean, once you all your employees, you need to have a specific tax reference with the inland revenue. So when you're making your payments, so they will know this is specific for that company. So I can just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't make any difference. So um, um, okay. So I'm just making that up, so it doesn't make any difference, to be honest. So save. Oh, invalid format. Okay, let me see what I've done here. Okay, so let me try to use what is here. It says my tax reference is in invalid format. Oh, okay. So I want to go back. Okay, so go back. Okay, let me try this. So 989/123. Let me just make something up. Okay, save. Okay, I think it's out. They accepted it. Yeah, so that's fine. So once you've done that step, then you go to the next step. So I don't want to take too much of our time. So the next step, it says create a responsibility. Remember, I'm using this responsibility, which is called UK super user. This is not what will be needed when you get into the company. So you need to create yours, and that is the exact. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. So remember, I said everything is ant. Ant means that is for that business group. Let's say the company is called Ant. So the everything specific for that Ant will be limited to that responsibility. Because at the moment, if I look at this one, I can see a lot of things. But if I created one for Ant, then that means that's what I'm going to be using. That I can get rid of this, which I don't really need. So the next one says, now step 3, go to sysadmin. So I go back to sysadmin. So the next one says security, responsibility, then divine. So when you get here, so you can just create one score, and you can just say super user. Super user. Yeah, that's fine. We can just say manager. Okay. Remember, everything needs to start from January 1951. Okay, so when you do that, remember this is for human resources. Just click on human resources. This default to Oracle application, that's okay. So here you need to have a keyword, so we can just put ant underscore super underscore manager. That's fine. Oh, good. Okay, so the next one, this one is always standard. This one, because you're doing human resources, so this is human resources again. Now, this one, you can just pick up existing one. Normally, what I always do is to create a new menu, but we can use an existing one. Existing one will be Oracle existing one. So let me look for one, which is called, I think it's one called UK SHRM. I haven't used this for a long time, so let me see if I can get one. Okay, yeah, so now this one should, yes, super. The moment it says super, that means it's going to show me everything. So this is fine. So once you do that, we cannot, there's many of them. You can use, this one here as well, which is called just without the super. But normally I like to use the super, so I can just say super. So that's fine. So this is, we can use any existing UK reports. So we can just put HRMS on the reports. So we can use this. Okay, so once you've done that, this one we don't need it, so we can just save. So once you save this, so the next step, if you notice what I put here, the next step says step 4 says attach your responsibility to two profiles. So two profiles. So these are the main two profiles which I wanted to do. We can add more anyway. So you just click there, and the step is sysadmin. We are in sysadmin already. It says profile. So actually, let me just use this. So it's profile system actually. Yeah. So profile, then system. So you just click on your responsibility. Just put it here, and here what you need to do is to okay, actually there's one thing which I need to do which I haven't done, so which I need to do that. Okay, sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, so there's something I need to create a security profile as well, which I haven't done. Okay, yeah, so I need to create a security profile, so that's my fault. I should have done that. So let me just quickly go to the super user. Oh, sorry, not this one. So security, then profile. So here we can just pick up ants underscore. Oh, actually, it's there already. What am I even doing? It should have been there. So let me just make sure it's existing. So if I pick up ants, oh yeah, it's there already. So that's fine. Sorry, I thought I need to do that, but I don't need to. So that's automated anyway. So yeah, so sysadmin. So profile, system. So ANT. Then here I just pick up an HR. So just like I mentioned on here, so I said query this, so I can just copy this actually. So copy and just go find. So once you click on find, so what you need to do is to make sure you just pick up ants. So once you do ants, it automatically come out with a business group which we created. Just save. Once you do that, you go back here, and the next one that says add this, which is user. Do find. So once you do find and you go to the responsibility, so here you just wait. There's 3 options if I'm right. So there's 3 options: user, payroll, HR with payroll, and payroll user. Now what this automatically means is it allows you to do anything in HR and anything in payroll. So that's why I always like to use this. So HR with payroll user. So then save. So there's more which we need to add, but these are the main 2 at the moment. So we can add more later. So once we've done that, then the next step will be, let me quickly go to the next step before I round up. So attach a responsibility to your username. So the next step, which will not take time, is for me to, the next step will be sysadmin, security, user, and divine. So the person I'm using, just for UK, I think is test. Okay, so then I can just click here and just put ants, then save. Then this one, because I don't need it anymore, so I can just detrack it and just say, yeah, I don't need you. Just put a date, the same date, then save. Yeah. So once I come out, I can go in and I'm able to see this. Now, because I put today's date on this one, so by tomorrow, this will go away. I won't be able to see this anymore. I will only be able to see this. So if I go to the new responsibility, which we created, remember, now, from now on, everything you're going to be building will be based on this responsibility. So if I go here, I don't think you're going to see anything. No employee is going to be completely zero. So if I go here, I should not be able to see anything at all. Can you see? So it's completely zero. Everything that was going to be on this responsibility will be zero. The only thing you can see would be something like this. These are Oracle standard. So you will see anything standard. So if I go to marital status, so I should be able to see this as standard Oracle. So from now on, from next week, we can start building on this. So because like I said, for you to start a building, you need a foundation. Whatever we've done from step 1 to step 5, those are the foundation. We can start building on that from next week. So thank you very much, and I will talk to everybody next week.